So I am a geography nerd, I would say, and I've always been interested in other cultures. I grew up in the U.S. My parents are from Uganda, and so from a young age, from 4, I took my first international trip. And throughout my childhood, we did a lot of international travel. So again, I was always just very curious about the world, and my parents helped me to access the world. And so in 2017, I had already visited 60 countries, and it was then that I decided to visit every country in the world, like by my 35th birthday. Yeah, so the story behind the Catch Me If You Can, it really came about in 2009 because I was always traveling. And so my friends always called me Carmen San Diego. And people would always call me or text me and say, "Where are you?" And so it became this whole thing of, well, you have to catch me if you can. And so in 2009, I started my blog called thecatchmeifyoucan.com. This is my second time in Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah, I love Nigeria. I love Lagos. It's always a good time, maybe too much fun. But yeah, I love Lagos. I love the energy here. People are really fun. It's a good time. I think the best part about Nigeria is the people. I think Nigerians are very unique characters. Yeah, and it's just super fun. Like, it's definitely the people that make it. But also, of course, there's the culture, there's the food, the suya, the pepper soup, the jollof. Um, and then the nightlife, of course, here is insane. And I think like the nightlife here rivals New York and Miami. You can definitely feel like you can have like, I think in many ways more fun than if you were in Miami or New York. So yeah, but I think all of that boils down to the people. That's a good question. Well, income inequality. I mean, obviously, here in Nigeria, you have some of the richest Africans and some of the poorest Africans. And so, like, income inequality is a huge thing. I think infrastructure needs to be improved, especially like from a tourism perspective. Yeah, I just think there needs to be some improvements, but income inequality is the biggest thing, and then properly managing things like electricity, for example, and water and like internet. So just all of the critical infrastructure to a country, I think needs work here. I would say the lesson that I learned wasn't from a specific country, but from the entire journey. Two things. One is that most people are good. I think we're living in a time where, we have everybody, we have corrupt politicians, there's racism, misogyny, all of these things going on around the world. But when it comes down to people, most people in the world are good. That's my experience. And the other thing is that we are more similar than we are different. And I think once we realize that we are all just 7 billion people sharing the same space, hopefully things will improve. Instead of looking at, oh, you're Nigerian, I'm Ugandan, or I'm American, and you're British, or any of those things. None of that matters because we have this one planet that we're sharing. We're destroying all of our resources, and we're all going to suffer for it. So hopefully, I hope people really start to think of each other as neighbors, no matter what the borders are, because we're all just people. Yeah, that's a really good question. So it varies wildly. So I've lived in 5 countries. I've spent a couple months, like, going back and forth in other countries. I've been to more than 40 countries more than once. But I think for the last 50 countries I did, maybe the average was like 4 days. Yeah.